Tonight we're going to make us an Italian style meatloaf. I want y'all to come along and watch this one. I think it's going to be fun. Okay, we're going to get right into putting this together. And what we've got here, I have in this bowl, I've got 2 pounds of 80-20 ground beef and about a third a pound of sausage. And we're going to start out, I got 2 beaten eggs. And get them down in here. Anytime you're cooking and you want something to hold together, eggs are glue. Think of eggs as a glue. Even if you're making some kind of pasta or something folded over and stuck together, you always use eggs as a glue. So the next thing we're going to do, since this is Italian, we're going to put in some basil. I'm going to guess that to be probably a teaspoon or a teaspoon and a half. Next thing I'm going to put in is some Italian seasoning. We're probably going to put in about a tablespoon of this. Maybe a little bit more. Okay, a little bit more. Here we have some garlic powder. Now when you're going for like a flavor and you're trying to do, you want to stick to flavors that are spices or seasonings that are true to that ethnicity or whatever you want to call it, Italian. So we're trying to stay with Italian. Now this one here, instead of salt, I'm going to use this Cajun seasoning because it's going to give it a little bit of heat, a little bit of a, I don't know, a little more of a pop than salt. But you can just use salt if you want. And that was probably a teaspoon and a half of that. We're also going to throw in a little bit of parsley, maybe a 1/4 cup. Breadcrumbs. This helps holding it together too. So breadcrumbs, we're probably going to go 1/2 cup or so. Oh, now the fun part. Oh, chachery. Let's add a little bit more chachery. That was a call to add more chachery. It's going to make me sneeze again. Maybe not. Okay. Gloves! Another good reason to have gloves. We got to get messy. I'm going to just mix this all together. Just squeeze it between your fingers. Become the human claw. You want to get all this mixed together. Try to get all the egg, all the seasonings mixed in there evenly as best you can. Because we're not quite done yet adding stuff to this. It's ooey and gooey, but everything's coming together really well. Start to see the seasonings throughout the meat. I can't really see the sausage alone anymore, so that means it's getting mixed in. The egg is done soaked into it pretty well. So, take some of that off of me here. I hate to take the glove off because I got to get in there again. I have some spaghetti sauce. You can put that in there. Alright, I got to glove up and I'll be right back. I suppose. All gloved up again. I'm going to get messy again. Now we added about 1/2 cup of the spaghetti sauce. Now I'm going to put in, you see that's I'd call that a heaping tablespoon. We're going to put 2 of those in there. And then we're going to get messy again. Unfortunately. But we want to add this liquid in so you don't end up with a dried meatloaf. Nothing worse than a dried out meatloaf, let me tell you. You try to hide it with some ketchup, but they're gonna know. And the reason I did the seasonings and the eggs first, because by the time I mix this in, this stuff's really gonna be mixed together. I'm gonna cook this out on my grill. I'll put the diffuser plate in it, and we're going to have a side of, I bought some mini potatoes. I'll show you how to put those together here in just a second. We're going to cook these on the grill too. So we'll get to that here in just a minute. Ooh, good cave. Did you see that? I saved that. It was falling down the side. Alright, can you see that good? So you can see what it looks like. Looks like some nasty, nasty whatever. It doesn't look very good, but trust me, it's going to be yummy.
Yep.
We just had to wrestle everything around here. We're back. We're going to take our meatloaf, throw it out here on a piece of parchment paper. And what we're going to do with it, get rid of that. We're going to squish this thing out, flatten her out. And what this is going to let us do, you'll see in just a second. You just want to try to get it the same thickness, spread out there. Get a thin spot there. Make a square. Somewhat of a square. Alright. Now, the reason I did this, it's pretty cool. I just learned this. I watched Kent Rollins, and if you don't watch him, I swear you need to watch him, because great cook and very entertaining. But it's a lot easier to roll your meatloaf up if you want to stuff it. And what I got here, I have some green onions. And I mean, think about this. You can stuff this meatloaf with anything. Put pepperoni in there. We just did one with spaghetti the other night, didn't we?
Yes, it
Put
was really
spaghetti
good.
in the middle, and you roll it up, and it's like spaghetti stuffed meatloaf. So you can do whatever you want.
Do you want to try mozzarella?
Not in the middle of it.
Okay.
Every time I put cheese in the middle of the meat, it don't work out. It melts out. And I don't know what the secret is to that yet. Okay, here we go. Now what we're going to do, we're just going to roll this parchment paper. Just roll it up. See, we had to weight our ends of the parchment paper. It just wants to roll up and you can't even get your meat on it. Look at that. Ain't that sweet? And you can shape it. Oh, look at the meatloaf. Alright. This can be tricky. I hope it'll fit in there. I think it will. Get it down here to the end. Just roll it right out in there. Look at that. Pan wasn't quite long enough. Get it squared back around. Alright. And you see that? That makes a really consistent shaped and sized meatloaf. Plus it's fun rolling it up. It really is.
It's a meat to roll.
Yeah, that's one of spicy meatloaf. I'm gonna wash my hands right here for real quick, and then we'll be right back. This is about ready. We've only been going at this for about only 20 minutes. And that's even with us turning the camera on and off and fiddling around in the background. So, The last thing I want to do here, I think we'll put a little crease down the top. How about that? That'll look pretty. We're going to pour just a little bit more of this spaghetti sauce over the top, because this is an Italian style meatloaf. So what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to go out, I'm going to get the grill fired up and going, and I'm aiming for maybe a 325 temp fire, and I'm figuring this thing's probably going to take an hour, hour and a half. So I'm going to go get that done. When it's time to start prepping these, I got some potatoes, real quick prep, man, but they are super great and you're going to love it. So I'm going to go get that done. Come back and see me in just a minute. Got the coals out there in the chimney getting going. We're going to throw this side together, and I'm telling you, this is super quick, super easy. I got some small potatoes that are red, purple, and golden. I'm going to take a little bit of butter. A little bit of butter.
A little bit more.
Then, and a little bit more. Kind of stay with what we used in the meatloaf a little bit, but we got some breadcrumbs that are going to go in here. I have some rosemary garlic that's going to go in here. Now these are just going to steam in all these flavors. The garlic powder, because man, garlic's good on potatoes. Parsley. And probably just a little bit of the chimichurri. I'm using this for salt tonight. It adds a lot more flavors to it than that, but you get the idea. And all we're going to do now, we're going to seal these up in the foil. You want to seal them up tight. You bring your two edges together, then roll them.
No loosey-goosey here.
No loosey-goosey. You want these to steam, so then you can roll your ends up after you have your top seam rolled together like that. Just roll them up to the potatoes. And right there, oh Lord, you know what we forgot, baby?
What did we forget?
We got the onions. We had to put some onions. I chunked them up special just for this. Okay, put some onions in there. Now we're going to wrap them up again.
Nice and tight.
Nice and tight, but you know what? It rolled up easier the second time than it did the first time. Imagine that.
Imagine that.
All right. And there we go. We're ready to go. It's been about 25-30 minutes. Prepped the meatloaf and the sides. And I bet if I go outside and look, I'm ready to put some coals into the grill. So I'm going to go do that. Come back and put this thing on some fire. Will you get down?
Okay, we're on.
Okay, we're out the grill. It's about 325, and that's where we wanted to be. So we're going to throw this meatloaf and our potatoes in here. Now I have a diffuser plate. My coals are spread even in the bottom. They got a diffuser plate in there, which blocks direct heat that comes out around. So we're just going to close the lid on this. We're going to try to stay around 325, and I guess we're going to come back and check this here in about 45 minutes. See you soon.
Okay.
We ready?
Yeah.
Are we going?
We're rolling.
It's been just over an hour. The grill worked. I mean, it stayed 325, 350 the whole time. So here's the last thing. This stuff's about 170. I'm going to throw some tomatoes on top of this thing. Right here. And some basil. Because it is Italian. So a little bit more basil. And the mozzarella. We're going to put the mozz on top of it. Because you know, mozzarella, that's Italian. We gotta have some mozzarella in this. Alright. We're going to cover this with foil. Then we're going to go out and get the potatoes off. And This could be time to eat here as soon as this stuff melts.
You're on.
Woo, that's hot! Alright, we just brought this in. It's like in 170s. Now we put the tomatoes and the mozzarella on it, and then we put it back out there on the grill for about 15 minutes. And we are going to get that up out of that grease. We're going to set here on a rack under, or the pan under it, so that that grease can drip off there for just a second. Our potatoes are looking incredible, and here in just a minute we're going to make a plate, and I'm going to come back, and you're going to have to watch me eat. We're getting ready to take a bite of this Italian meatloaf and our side of potatoes, but we're going to take a bite of this meatloaf here. Now I did take and add just a little bit of spaghetti sauce to the top of it, like you would ketchup. Oh yeah, that's good. It's not dried out. Now when I put the tomatoes and the cheese on top of it, I stuck it back out on the grill at around 325, 350, and it kind of ran there, 325, 350. But 10 or 15 minutes melted the cheese. One thing I didn't do that I should have done better was tint the foil so the cheese doesn't stick to the top of the foil, but there was still plenty of cheese on top of the meatloaf. This thing is incredible. It's really good. You need to try this. And until next time, keep it smoking.